Hey, Nick Peterson here, and I'm going to tell you how to sell good stuff. And the reason I say good stuff is because it is way simpler. It is way easier to sell good stuff than anybody makes it out to be. There's a lot of people that have great stuff, innovative stuff, useful stuff, helpful stuff, and they complicate the sales process because they're basically listening to salespeople, right? All these sales marketing programs and yada yada yada. And not to throw stones, which I do like to do sometimes, but the reality is if I'm a marketing coach and a sales coach and I'm taking on hundreds of people, a majority of those people don't have a good thing. It's just very few people actually have a really good, useful, helpful thing. And so what they're teaching is not a method to teach useful or sales tactics or methods that are for people that have very useful, sophisticated, complicated stuff. It's really, really, really easy to sell that stuff if the relative advantage, if it's actually better than the alternative, right? But what we do is we complicate it by using sales tactics designed for things that aren't actually that good. So if you have something good, I got something for you. It's going to make it way, way easier for you to sell. If you do not have a thing that is actually useful, then I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't be selling stuff. So I'm going to show you really quick. There's just 5 adoption decisions as you bake this into your content like this, your email follow-up, your text, your your Instagram stories and stuff, your testimonials. Make it really, really simple. Let me share my screen here. We make it really, really simple to sell, right? And you might be familiar with this, probably seen this before. I talk about it all the time. That's the fusion of innovations. And this is the book. This is Customers for Life book. I'm just going to go to page 25 here. And I'm going to show you all that people want to know. If you actually have a thing that they believe is useful and good, they want to know what happens after I lose my leverage. It just means I have my credit card in my hand. You're saying really nice things to me because you want my credit card. What happens when I give up my leverage? That's the question, right? And this is what people are looking at. What is the relative advantage of doing your thing versus the thing I would otherwise do? What is the compatibility with my beliefs, my religion, my family life? All those things, right? They matter. What is the complexity? Is it too complex for me to figure out? It's not just know, like, trust you. I have to know, like, and trust myself to be able to implement the things, right? Trialability. Is there some way that I can, try it for a month? Can I get an example? Testimonials are a great example of trialability and observability. Right. So all we do when we bake in our communication, it doesn't have to be salesy, it doesn't have to be obnoxious, it doesn't have to be pain based. All we have to do is strategically show them the relative advantage, the level of compatibility, the level of complexity, some level of trialability. This is what a strategy session would be if you weren't digging for pain. If you actually just helped somebody, that's a level of trialability and observability. Right, a lot of testimonials like solar panels. People are way more likely to buy solar panels if they could see them on the top of their friend's house or their neighbor's house. So that's observability. So instead of dig for pain, dig for pain, dig for pain, or provide value, provide value, provide value, whatever it is people are doing, I would implore you to say, which adoption decision, these are adoption decisions, which adoption decision am I addressing in this communication? Am I showing the relative advantage of this program over that one? Am I showing them the compatibility? This is where people do really well on social media, Instagram, because they just show that, we're similar. We have similar beliefs. We have similar family lives, stuff like that. Are we showing the complexity? Frank Kern does this really well. He shows how simple it is in his marketing. Trialability and observability. Frank Kern also does this really well, right? This is what I call inception marketing. Can you show somebody, hey, this works? And the proof is you're reading this. And this is how I got you to read this, right? That's observability, that what you're doing actually gets attention. Okay, so those are the 5 questions. I'll scroll them one more time so you can write them down. Relative advantage, compatibility, complexity, trialability, observability. If you are always addressing one of those, not the same one over and over, you're addressing one of those in your communications, it becomes really, really, really simple, incredibly simple to sell. And you can see here in the book, even, I just gave you the campaigns. So if you don't want to figure this out, you just want to rip off our campaigns, I give them to you right here in the book. Right, you could see the email, the direct mail, the in-person, the phone, the video communication, the gift we would send, all of that. It's right there. You can snag it if you would like at earncustomersforlife.com. I think I'm frozen. I don't know. Earncustomersforlife.com. You can snag it and you get all those. But just think of those 5 adoption decisions, right? That's really how people buy really useful stuff when you don't have to dig for pain. You don't have to make people cry. You don't have to do any of that weird stuff. You just address the 5 adoption decisions, because that is how, since the beginning of time, people have bought things that are actually beneficial. Cool.